What's up, everybody? Welcome to Sideline to Baseline with your host, MB and K. Lou.
K. Lou?
What's good, MB? And look here, we got Orlando early in the building. He's never late, always early, baby. He early, but he be wrong a lot of times, too. So let's get right into it. I titled this thing, Phoenix chokes while Giannis dominates. Didn't y'all tell me these Suns was unbeatable? You and everybody else too, by the way. Chuck picked them as well. Yeah. And Chuck ain't pick him just because that was his teammate either. So me and MB was going that route because our heart was with Chris Paul and Coach Williams. Okay, but and you know, I went ahead and said they were gonna go and they was gonna win 4 straight. How you broke the game down?
So I'll say this to you, and Phoenix was definitely the more skilled team. But then what happened was you mentioned about punching them in the mouth.
That's right.
And Milwaukee played, they did a better job of playing that style. But what happened was the skilledness, if that's the word, the Phoenix skilled guys start missing shots too. Right. They didn't make shots, and skilled guys gotta make shots. And Giannis, what Milwaukee did was they played Giannis 15 feet and in, and he was dominant. He was dominant 15 feet and in. And it changed the game. But what you said, they didn't do it to the degree of the bad boy Pistons, but they did muddy the game up some. And I'll tell you the other adjustment they made that I thought was tremendous, because Middleton has a hard time creating shots on his own, getting them on his own. But then they start letting him handle the ball, ball screens for him. So now when I come off the ball screen, I got to step.
Right.
I don't have to face you one-on-one and beat you. I come off the ball screen and I got to step. Once I get that step with my size and my length, then he could get going. And Coach Bud did a good job.
Yeah, I agree with that, man. That's what I said. That the adjustment that I thought they made offensively was, I mean, sometimes they'll have Chris bring the ball up,
Yes.
And get more intentional with him on offense, and they start moving the ball around a whole lot more. Because in that fourth, fifth game, to me, Giannis wasn't as dominant as he was in the past. He was looking more to create for his teammates,
Right.
And they did a good job of, okay, Chris, you dribble the ball up. Okay, Giannis, you dribble. Okay, Drew, you dribble it up. So all those played that role of point guard, and I think they did an excellent job with ball movement, getting guys involved. And Giannis, like I was joking with K. Lou, he heard K. Lou talking about him, how he wasn't a good passer, so he was making that thing happen, man. He did a good job.
In that
last game, he went back to like, I'm carrying it. I'm gonna carry the team on my back,
Right.
He wasn't trying to pass nothing. He was like, I'm about to dominate,
Watching the games, I felt like Chris Paul, as every game went, you could tell he was 30, however old he is, you could tell. But then I talked to a few of my NBA insiders, he was hurt. I didn't realize how serious he was hurt. His wrist was hurt and something else was hurt on him. But Chris will never say that. But he was banged up.
Man, that's so interesting, just looking at how this thing played out, going up 2-0. And, my fear came, and MV will tell you, when they tied it back up, I called them front runners on the tile. Like, I went straight to that. And then it was amazing to me how when they couldn't answer game 5, I didn't understand why so many people had confidence that they would still win. And remember, MB, I was sitting on the show trying to figure out, they just lost 3 in a row. You guys really feel like that means nothing? Like that, to me, the people, the social media and people around me seem to be saying, yeah, but Phoenix gonna finish it off. Like, explain to us, what was the thought process basically losing 3 in a row and still the media and fans, and when I say fans, I'm saying these are fans that aren't even Phoenix people, but like it's no way they're gonna lose.
Yeah, well, they were so dominant in game 1 and 2, and you just felt like them coming back home, and they could really put it together and play well and win it. But again, when Chris Paul wasn't playing well, then it was so much on Booker, and the other guys didn't really step up.
Wow. Speaking of stepping up, I'm gonna go to I think it was Fred who told us, MB, I don't remember the name. Chatted came through the chat and was talking about Cam Johnson. MB was talking about as well. Another name that got flashed out was Frank Kaminsky. And it was funny to me though, MB, and I might pull it up if I can find it later. Monty Williams, right, made comment after the game about that, and it was funny to me. He basically said he felt like he should have played Frank more in the series after seeing how he played, that last game. He also said, agreed with our chatter, came in on the chat line and said Cam Johnson, he felt like he should have played him more as well. And then I'm sitting there laughing like LB was right, Fred was right, and then he came back and he said, but we've been with these guys the whole season, and my starters. I want to go with my starters, and that was the only thing I was saying. It was so funny because I was telling MB and both Fred, look, like I ain't denying that they shouldn't play. I'm just saying coaches don't do that. It's just because here's the problem, and you can speak to this, and I was shocked with LB ain't speak to it, but. You don't won with those guys. It ain't like you've been losing and we keep coming. Like you've been winning, and it's been because of the plays those exact guys been making. And I'm like, man, I just never seen a coach be like, "No, we ain't going with you no more."
I agree with you. I coached for 27 years. There's no way I would have went away from my starters. I agree with that. But I'm gonna switch to football here for 1 second.
Right.
But at that moment of, I don't remember how many years ago it was, when I realized to myself, Nick Saban is one of the greatest to ever do it. He's in the national championship game. The last game, that's it. He gets all the way there with Jalen Hurts, and at halftime,
switch.
He said, I got to go with this guy.
Listen,
like there's no way I could have done that. And I hate what Monty's saying.
Like the quarterback.
Yeah,
I hate to say it. I don't think it was as hard as y'all putting it out there. Jalen had played terrible the entire year, and they shouldn't have been undefeated.
But
they were winning in spite of him. Like, listen, my brother is an Alabama guy. Like I have to live through Alabama seasons regardless, right? And I'm telling him, like, bro, I don't even know how y'all win it out there. Like, y'all are that much better because this dude is like need to play running back. That's how bad he was playing to me.
Now you say that, and he gonna start for the Philadelphia Eagles this year,
right?
No, we gonna talk about that a little later.
But hey. I don't remember him playing that bad, but as far as the whole season, I mean, this dude was I don't remember him being the weakest link like that.
Oh, definitely. And even in Oklahoma, like what y'all don't remember, if you look at Jalen Hurts pre-Oklahoma, he don't even please go back to the tape, MB. He don't even look like the same dude. That's a I can't even think of the coach's name. He's a quarterback whisperer out there at Oklahoma. He don't get enough credit for what he's been able to do with these guys in one season. But Jalen was one read, MB. It was like he never grew, but that's my knock on Alabama too. Like you look at their quarterback positions, they don't grow. The same dude they started out with. Look at them 2, 3, 4 years later. They the same dude.
Right.
I didn't mean to jump off on that tangent. I just wanted to make the point that Monty, like 98% of the coaches in the world,
right?
These guys got you here. There's no way that you're pulling them at that point.
Yeah, and Coach O, like last show, I disagree with that in this regards. I said, for as some coaches will make adjustment, they'll put in like if a guy they feel like the guy can jumpstart him, get him going, and that they'll do it. Not that I agree that. And this one, when I got off the show, I was like, well, I didn't agree with that. Cam need to be playing, but I didn't say that. But I agree with the fact that I saw coaches make that move. I saw the Golden State Warriors, right? Iguodala championship. They started him, right, so he can guard LeBron, as opposed to bring him off the bench.
But hold on now, MB. When you talk about Andre Iguodala,
that's what I'm saying.
I know, but no,
I let him have it too.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. I was arguing about the
because hey, MB, you remember who he benched? Like the center from Australia, right? Wasn't it him at the time?
Either Bogut.
Yeah, that's who he benched, MB.
But listen, though, that's the only, I wasn't, because when I got off, I said, dang, I didn't make it clear that I wasn't saying that Cam Johnson needs to start. I was saying that coaches have made those adjustments where they may start a guy like Iguodala for to change up the lineup for matchup reason. That's my whole point. As opposed, and then because I talked about how the Clippers, how what's his name, Tyrone Lue, a guy can just have a great game, right? And then he'll go small ball, he'll switch up the lineup, and say, and K. Lue's like, well, they had a lot of injury. I said, but
they had a different lineup every game this year.
But to me, I was saying some coaches, they'll make that one adjustment if that guy to get the better matchup or something like that, or jumpstart the thing, and that's all I was saying. And so I was pointing to that Golden State as a team that did it. I'm sure some more examples.
And Orlando in football, we cheat because we have a million packages.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So we kind of work around that, so it's not looked at the same. So I can understand what MB's saying. We do it all the time, but we don't really say it. Like a joker ain't not starting. We just gonna run dime all game.
Because I brought up like Reggie Jackson. He made the change up him, and nobody was hurt. He started that dude off the cuff. I'm trying. So I was trying to think.
MB, please stay off the Clippers, man. Pull up how many lineups they had. That's what you do.
Now,
before you brag on Tyronn Lue.
And here's what I would say about Cam Johnson. Like, maybe you extend his minutes, but I don't know if I'd start.
No. I was just talking about the concept. I ain't say Cam Johnson like da. I was talking about more the concept that coaches do make adjustments like that, where they may insert one guy just from a matchup standpoint. So that's the whole thing. But Cam, because Miles Bridges, and Cam, like you said, they'll extend the guy minutes at a time. But that's the thing I should have emphasized.
Well, and I didn't blame Monty for Cam lack of minutes. I feel like Cam's in that role of you got to earn your minutes every time you come in the game, because we're going with this other guy. So when you get in, if you catch fire, you're our guy. And if you do that enough, now I can make a decision like that. But if you're not giving me instant offense, if you ain't Vinny Johnson, baby, we ain't going with you in the fourth. Remember Vinny used to end up in the fourth quarter? When he done heated up, baby. We finna ride, Vinny. We ride with you tonight, baby.
Microwave.
Then other games, hey, Vinny ain't heated up, boy. We gonna sit him. We gonna keep him where he at.
Microwave.
I don't wait back on you, Orlando.
Yeah, I remember Benny well in those Pistons teams.
Yeah, so it's
y'all gonna have
definitely
me research. You know, I like the research though.
Yeah, there's definitely always a place for those role guys, but I've always in basketball always looked at it like they are forced to earn their minutes, not nightly, not just like you know what I'm saying, like because you'll play your starter extended minutes if he ain't giving you nothing coming off the bench. Think of how many times we look at the box score at the end of the game, we go straight to what a lot of times, especially, you know, when you critiquing the game, and I know you guys obviously are way more in depth, but I'll go to if it was kind of even, you know, where I felt like they 2 stars played well, the other 2 stars, immediately I go straight to bench points. Like, I want to know how many points you got contributed off the bench.
Yeah, and that's an important factor to it. And you know, again, like you mentioned, I kind of agree with you with the whole, you know, Cam Johnson, Frank Kaminsky. I mean, when I put you in the game, you got to earn to stay on the floor.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's just the role. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the role, because you couldn't beat this joker out. You got to play like that. And I think they understand that and know that, and that's why you see different guys may sit the bench. You know, like Montrezl Harrell was not the same player in Houston that he became in LA with the Clippers. You know what I mean? Right. And I think for him, he earned more minutes with Clippers. Like, he got a lot better. And really, I think it was better offensively. He was always the same defensive guy, but I think he got a lot better offensively, extended his range and all that stuff. And then he demanded minutes, and so they gave them to him. And I think he demanded them quite often. And he became the player he is. Now he with us. He ain't demanding them kind of minutes, man. So we moving on from you two. You need to don't even worry about that player option. We lied.
Now, do you guys have interest in John Collins from Atlanta?
With the Lakers?
Yeah.
No,
you don't.
Because he would have to come off the bench. And a guy like that, like, he's a starter.
Yeah, you don't.
He's definitely a starter. We moving LeBron to 4 now.
Okay.
We met with him. He lied to us and told us he gonna play down there. That's all it is a lie.
Okay. He gonna have the ball in his hands, brother.
Hey, Coach, what adjustments you think the Suns could have did to win the series, man?
I'm not sure if they could have, and the reason why I say that, and it's not a cop-out thing. Chris Paul had to play it at a high level, like he did in Game 1 and 2. He had to play at an elite level for them to win it, and he didn't. He didn't. The rest of the guys, you knew they weren't. You know, Jay Crowder is who he is. Jay Crowder is Jay Crowder. Those guys, you know, Ayton's a good player. His first time around. You know, Booker, his first time around. They're young, but good players. So what they gave you was what I expected of them, what they had. But to win it, Chris had to be elite, and he wasn't.
Yeah, and I mean Booker, that last game, he didn't do as well. He didn't shoot well. He picked the wrong night there. Wrong game to have another off night, you know?
Exactly.
And the Aiden, the same thing. He didn't do well. So yeah.
Hey, I think that's funny. And I'm saying this, if Drew Holiday was listening to this conversation right now, he would say, what do you mean he picked a bad night to have another off night? I have nothing to do with that now. And I'll bring that story up. There's a guard for Baylor named Davion Mitchell who's going in the draft.
Yeah.
His nickname is Off Night. And I was
That's right. Yes, sir.
Off Night. They said because every point guard he faced, they wind up having an off night.
Orlando, and I really feel like he played himself into the first round in the tournament for the same reason. Because remember, he's the one who shut down Gonzaga's guard.
Yes, Jalen.
He's that guy. What they were saying, he was projected 2 or 3 before then, and he still may be. I don't know.
He's still top 5.
He's still top 5, but Davion did an unbelievable job on him. And Drew Holiday is somewhere sitting there going, hey, MB, don't forget now.
Yeah,
I had something to do with that.
Yeah, no doubt.
Look, Orlando, I spoke about that, and I said it could be argued because I was on the Chris Paul train as far as like when they made the switch and how Drew began to play defense on Chris Paul. And I said it could be argued that Giannis may not be the MVP, but this guy is from a defensive perspective who really changed the game, because if Giannis still go ham and Chris Paul going ham, they still got more than y'all.
Every coach in the country is saying the same thing you said right there. Like Drew Holiday was it, and I mentioned this, and not to pat myself on the back, but I mentioned this in game 1 or 2. He was such a good defender, and the Milwaukee was trying to figure out who we gonna put him on.
Yeah,
who should go? Because he stopped this guy kills us. He stopped this guy kills us. But yeah. A lot of coaches in the country are talking to their teams, individual players, and saying, "Hey guys, there's no question Giannis is the MVP, but they don't win this without him."
Right?
Wow.
He changed. He changed the game. He changed it.
Yeah, and so when MB and I both felt like Phoenix went away from the real pick and roll, which was their strength, and started this one-on-one stuff, which we felt like played into the hands of what Drew Holiday was doing.
Right. No, I agree with that. I agree with you.
So that's definitely interesting. Obviously, I went nostalgic because I'm a Laker, so I thought, what was our connection? Lou Alcindor, baby, Kareem, baby. So he shouted out Giannis and Neil for winning, because he was the only thing that ever gave Bucks any kind of hope when he won in his 71, coach. Kareem, man, I just felt like that was, special and an honor for him to, kind of shout out the guys and obviously what he meant to Milwaukee and bringing them their only championship until now.
Yeah, that was special. I'm gonna make this statement, and I don't know the ins and outs, and I probably shouldn't, but I'm not sure if Oscar Robertson left there on good terms.
Right.
I don't think it was a peaceful deal, and so it would have been special for him to be in that building because he had a lot to do with it as well.
Right.
But it was great. It was great to have Kareem there and being supportive of him, and
hey, man, we forgot about the Big O. My guy Russ, baby.
He wasn't there.
We forgot about the Big O. Russ, hey, that's his career average now.
Right.
You notice I'm showing him a lot of love right now, huh? You notice I'm showing a lot of love to Russ, baby.
It's a lot more possessions in the game. And I agree, it's still a hard feat. To get a triple-double, to average a triple-double is incredible. But it's a way more possessions in the game than when Big O played.
Right.
To do it. And so it's still a tough deal. Let me tell you guys a story. And I want to say Kareem was at Milwaukee at this time. But I think he was averaging something ridiculous. 20-some points, 15 rebounds. The coach came in for a pregame talk, and he was eating a hot dog. And I want to say Hubie Brown might have been an assistant coach at the time with the Bucks. I could be off there, and he had 2 hot dogs, a Coke, and some popcorn. It was close enough to the game that the coach is on the board talking. And the assistant coach, who I think was Hubie, just goes crazy. What are you doing? What are you doing? You eating right before the game? And the coach stops what he's saying. Calls him out in the hallway. He goes, how many points does the big fella average? Hubie said 20. How many rebounds does the big fella average? 20. The big fella can eat whatever he wanted.
Hey, I would have fired him too. You get up out of here messing with what I got going on in here. I'm going with Bill Parcells. Lawrence can do what he need to do.
Hey, it remind me of Jimmy Johnson when he cut a linebacker for falling asleep in the meeting. He cut him, right? And then so the reporter asked him, "Hey, what if that was Troy Aikman or Emmitt Smith? Would you cut them too?" He said, "No, I would have went over and said, hey, wake up."
Yes, sir.
So he know who to cut and make a example out of, you know? Who not.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
Yeah, hey, but Big O was definitely at game 4 because I remember why I'm reading it now. He was at game 4.
Okay, well, great.
Yeah,
great. I didn't remember seeing.
They did. So in regards to what you're saying, they did mend the fence because he actually wrote them a letter, the Bucks a letter to my Bucks family. You know.
Okay, well, good. I didn't realize that.
Yeah. And then moving forward, man, Giannis is now in the same family as Dirk Nowitzki. And being in a rare conversation where guys, you know, kind of stayed because back in the day we can say, the Lakers and the Celtics, Bulls, but the GMs were much smarter then, evidently. Evidently they was way smarter than what they is now. Because they didn't have to trade. Like it was like one trade changed the game or two trade, and it wasn't even like a special guy, that did it. But for nowadays, it's like you draft. Well, not nowadays, but before you would draft your way in. Do you see Giannis being able to continue down this path? Obviously, I felt like me. They were playing us, so I felt like it was a fluke. Dirk got his. You can argue that, I made that argument. Everybody was hurt. You talking about the asterisk. This year was the asterisk. Everybody was hurt. Do you feel like Giannis can continue this? Can he build? We love to jump on this train. Can he build a dynasty?
He was so dominant, but it's so hard. Now, my question I have, did Dirk win another one? Did he always
won one?
No, man. And that was a fluke.
Yeah, so
real quick.
It's such a hard thing to do. I do think Giannis has done this though. I do think he's gotten God's attention with, man, I don't need to join 3 or 4 other guys to win it.
I don't. But ain't nobody. Listen, I don't think he don't make it out the East if them big 3 over there in New York was doing all right in Brooklyn. You know what I mean? Like that's a hard matchup. I feel like they win as great as Kawhi's in Toronto, man. I don't get at nothing.
Yeah.
Who you was playing again?
Why you put an asterisk on that win with Kawhi?
With Kawhi?
Yeah. Why you put an asterisk on that?
What you mean? He played me and you had them put on a Golden State jersey. We was out there balling for them. They were so depleted. Hey, LB, me and you were playing and we had a hurt ankle.
I'm just messing with you. You know how you be hating.
Well, Phoenix was healthy. I mean, anyway, I've had buddies tell me that Chris Paul was hurt, but
Phoenix was healthy, but I don't think they make it to Phoenix game. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. I don't know. I mean, again, it's such a hard deal to win an NBA Finals. I mean, it's such a hard deal. So to say, can he do it again or can he keep doing it? That's that's a tough deal.
No, Coach, let's be honest about it. Let's look at next year and say same roster for them and look at the rest of the East. Are you confident they make it back? That's the easy question. Just keep everything the same when we know it's not, but keep it the same. Can they make it back? Everybody's healthy. Can they make it back?
Okay, so now I'm going to answer this question with I don't trust Brooklyn. Is Brooklyn more talented? Without a shadow of a doubt. But do I trust Kyrie, Harden, Durant? Do I trust that? I'm not so sure if I do. So, I think they got as good a chance as anybody to make it back.
Because let's remember now, they played Atlanta and they only had one guy, and that guy was hurt too.
Well, and then their guy got
you
hurt
see?
too. But Milwaukee got hurt too, Caleb.
Yeah, but they not a one-guy team.
Yeah.
Like nobody could. I mean, for what Trey does, he's like Chris Paul getting hurt. But even worse, because Chris Paul getting hurt,
like
Devin can get in that role because he's done that. Nobody's doing what Trey's doing. Like he's
like Chris Paul and Devin Booker getting hurt.
Yeah, exactly. They need, like, if Atlanta does nothing, they need to pay a backup $100 million. They need to find a real guy who's a starter and pay him $100 million just for insurance policy behind Trey. Because that was ridiculous. They didn't even look like they should have ever been,
But they won the game without him.
Yeah, come on, man. My boy from Duke caught fire. Everybody was shooting.
They won the game without him, man.
Everybody was hot that night. They was on fire. Everybody.
Yeah, they won the game without him. I mean, I know Giannis ended up getting hurt.
They were not the same team. And especially you saw it when he came back. And he couldn't do the same stuff he could do before. It was just like, wow, they playing one arm tied behind their back. Because to me, he my feelings on him. He makes them go. And he's really a setup guy. He just scores because he has to. They put him in that role. You really want to see that Joker get loose. Give him to another guy or two. You get two more guys, the whole NBA in trouble. Because he really will show you.
I'm gonna argue with you there, K. Lou. He's not a true. I mean, he's a really good passer because he's a really good player. But that dude wants to score. I'm telling you, he wants to. He's been scoring his whole life.
Right.
Again, I call him a willing scorer.
Huh?
I call him a willing scorer. But
what's that?
And his problem has been he's never played with nobody. He always had to score because he that guy. He's the guy.
His AAU teammate was Michael Porter Jr. Pretty good player right there, isn't it?
He really good, and they ready to move him too. Hey, you talk to Denver right now, they gonna have him slated as the best available guy on the market right now, so they can get some fool to give him somebody for him. He has disappointed me because he cried about minutes after the loss to us. He cried about minutes. And then he got his wish. He was a starter, and Jamal Murray got hurt. You not only got minutes, but you got extra shots, and that's what you do with it. No.
So what, Kalu? So what was your point that you making? Kalu, what's your point you was making?
I don't remember what was going on.
Trey Young. You brought Trey Young against Milwaukee. He was trying to make a point.
No, I was just saying. Chris Paul was that same piece, Well, no, I don't remember what
you were saying. You were saying that Milwaukee. You're not sure if Milwaukee could get back to the finals. They were fortunate to beat Atlanta.
Right.
And if Trey Young don't get hurt, maybe they don't beat Atlanta.
Right.
And I will say I'm different than you there. I think they're capable of getting back to the finals. If you're gonna name 3 or 4 teams out of the East, you got Brooklyn, you got Milwaukee. I never ever count out, and I'm probably gonna be missing somebody right now, but I don't ever count out Pat Riley. If he does something here in free agency, then they gonna find a way to have a chance.
I mean, your top 4 in the teams in the East, I think, and then you got to add in Philly as well. Based on what they
Philly.
I guess my problem is this, and maybe y'all understand it this way: if you made me put money on this tournament again, I'm still not picking Milwaukee, and that's my problem. Knowing already they won it. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what's crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
So explain that why I got that feeling. Like, why can't I still see them?
Well, because Milwaukee is not a sexy team.
Right.
They don't have the sexy, you know, the pill, the big time. Even Giannis is a superstar, but he's not that sexy superstar. You know, but they're a good team.
Yeah,
right.
I agree. And then the help, right, is been inconsistent. You know,
and Caleb, you said it
behind Giannis has been inconsistent. I mean, that's the thing. It's like you got to hold your breath when you go Middleton. You got to hold your breath when you go Holiday. You know, especially on offense. You know, so it's no consistency when you think about the Nets. Even though, like, I agree, it's hard to trust them because that big three only played 9 games together, not counting the playoff, right? But then you know what you're getting from those big three, the consistency of Harden and Kyrie and Durant. You know you get instant offense. You know they're gonna at least play offense at some point. So I think it's more you got more comfort level in that, in my opinion. You know, but the key is, like, you know, one surprise like Blake Griffin. I mean, I remember when we came on there, you was talking about, like, how about he don't play? He'll be upset. You know, remember that?
Right.
That dude ended up playing well. But is he gonna sign back with them? I don't know. I don't think so. He earned him some money out there. You know, he resuscitated his career. You know, so
what for who?
I'm saying for somebody.
For who?
the small center role, the role that he played, he showed that he still got something left in his tank.
Yeah, he showed us that. Now he got a dunk. He had dunked all year in Detroit. Got there and got his springs back.
Yeah, he found the fountain of youth, but he showed you that he could carve out a road. No different than like Dwight Howard, what he did for the Lakers. He carved out a road for himself. I think to that degree, Blake carved out something for himself, showed that he played. You know, he still could play some quality minutes.
Well, that's why I believe he stays right where he is. Yeah, I don't even think he looks at free agency. I think he's gonna be, and he's okay taking the vet minimum. So I think that's a no-brainer for the Nets.
Yeah, it depends on he do that. But I'm saying the Nets, they gotta have those role players. Obviously they just can't win with the big three. Especially they gotta have those front court players that can come in.
They don't have no money to get them though.
I mean, but they got to count on just what I was saying about guys like Blake Griffin signing. You know, say, I just want to be part of this team, win the championship, and have those guys sign. You know, but I don't know. Like Blake, he somebody else probably can come get him and get that role, have him play that role. Who knows? Play him a little bit more. Who knows?
Because there are guys that can play there. Won't all of them trying to get up out of there because they can make money now.
yeah.
So it's a different. It's not like I ain't hating and saying they don't want to play there, but they've shown through these injuries they can play as well. And that's the same team that made the playoffs the year before. So, well, not the same because Dinwiddie was gone. But what's his name?
Dinwiddie he was there this year.
He was hurt.
He tore
and the other one that had LeVert. Yeah. They traded him, right?
Yeah.
He ended up trading middle of the season. But
so I mean, Brooklyn, do you with the big three, I guess because it's consistency, I think that's why they're more attractive, right? Because Milwaukee is more, you like, man, other than Giannis, who's the consistent player, And sometimes Chris Middleton, he's on a milk cart.
I think it's more difficult when you talk Brooklyn, if we're going there, and thinking about what are their needs. Because when you look at it, the only thing they need is, a rim presence on defense. And I don't think DeAndre Jordan really buys into that anymore, although he can still be a lob guy on offense. The problem I look at them is really you almost want a capable backup at one of those three guys' position. And this is where coach go be like, man, you crazy. You got to get one of those guys out early to actually he ends up being a backup 6-man guy, even though he started. Like one of those guys got to, or you do that with all three of them at the same time. But Steve Nash has to get smarter about not always playing them starting minutes together. Like a couple of them got to come out and then come back so that it can be like they're a bench guy. Because they ain't going to have the money and enough guys that are going to be willing to come over and be that, for them. Like you named Jay Crowder. They're not going to be able to pay Jay Crowder money to come and do what he does, like in a team like that.
Yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying, but you also, as ownership, you didn't spend all that money to bring one of them dudes off the bench.
Exactly.
You're playing them dudes.
That's why I said you're starting all of them, coach, but you know how it is. You get one guy early.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Because you're trying to play that game and because you're not going to get the kind of second team effort you need. One
of the things we used to do with our rotation in college, and we a couple of pretty good teams we had, was we had three guards that were really good, and we had a fourth guard that was solid, and we would bring him in for one of them. But we brought him. He didn't come in for the same one every time. Like whoever had it going, like if that dude had it going, he stayed, and we brought him in for another dude.
Right.
Yeah, so that kind of deal.
Right. That's what I'm saying, coach. That's what they need to find a way to do based on, and now they're fresh and they can go, the whole game. Like they can go down the stretch.
K-Lou, you saying that because you don't feel like they have the depth on their second unit?
Correct. I'm trying to create depth where there isn't.
Yeah.
And I don't have coach basketball mind, but I know what I want to do. I just can't figure out how to do it.
There's a lot of people out there that's really praising Nick Claxton right now and his development and being that 5-man that can protect the rim and undersized 5 guy that can roll. And so there's a lot of people that I have no idea on anybody's contract there.
Right.
On whether they can really, not sign some guys and have more money. But a lot of people are talking high about him right now.
And see, I'm a guy that's like, get rid of DeAndre Jordan, right? But then I think that's like KD's guy. So you know what I'm saying? That's a whole other I think, and coach, I think when you looking at their situation, I think this is at least what I thought about when you said you just not sure about them.
Yeah,
it has nothing to do with really like the basketball X's and O's.
Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. You're right.
And so, like I just said, hey, you need to make a move. Well, we can't. This fool gonna flake out if we make it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but K-Lou though, he didn't even play in the play towards the in that series against the playoff.
What happened?
He didn't even play in Milwaukee series.
DeAndre Jordan?
Yeah,
that's a problem.
But I'm saying though.
But we bring you here to catch lobs and block shots. If you're not, the biggest mistake they made was when they got rid of the guy that was already there doing that. I think he's in Charlotte or something.
No, you talking about Jared? You talking about Allen that went to Cleveland?
Yeah, he was killing. He was on Sports Center every night. Seemed like when he was in Brooklyn, year before this crew got here,
right,
blocking somebody's shot trying to dunk. like that's how I knew him, from blocking shots, and I think he was averaging 2-point-something blocks a game that year. And obviously, was thought of as the best blocker in the NBA last year. And then he go, and that's I thought that was the dumbest move ever. Because he had to leave when KD and Kyrie came, and it was over.
We talked about James Harden, and I think we were off the air when we talked about it. But we talked about how. I was talking about the Cleveland Browns, and you mentioned that they're a team that's all about the offense, all about. Well, that's Brooklyn. I mean, they're not putting any emphasis on keeping Jared Allen. They want to score 170 points.
Yeah.
So,
hey, but they needed him then. When all three of those guys don't care nothing about that other side? That's something you do. What who was that? Steve Spurrier LB said defense is something you do while you waiting on the offense to get back on the field.
Yeah, I think he said that. Yeah. I think he said that.
They say Steve would be like, let him score so we get back out there. You know what I'm saying? This dude, like, golly, just get that foolishness off the court. I mean, that's how he
I got that made me think of another funny story. I'm at the University of Alabama, and the guy is actually talking to me, assistant basketball coach. Okay, so he says, he goes, "Who do you guys play Saturday night?" And I think we were playing either Tennessee or Kentucky. I said, "Well, we got Tennessee." And he said, "Oh, Tennessee. I might come to that game." He goes, "I really don't go to a lot of basketball games. It's just something to do till football starts." That's what he said to me. So that's that whole Brooklyn Nets, Steve Spurrier, that defense, it's just something to do till we get the ball back.
Right.
Hey, coach. They on those three sitting there saying, "Y'all better not miss." Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what they thinking. You know what I'm saying? Like you playing horse, you better not let me get up front and hit first. It's a wrap after that,
Yeah. Well, according to ESPN, they got the Brooklyn Nets favorite to win the NBA championship.
There it is. Already.
That makes sense. It makes sense to have them favorite. I just don't trust them.
Right.
I'm with you. Like I didn't as well. I didn't think they would win as well. Not being the first year together. Now it's like, how do you win a second year and y'all still ain't played the first year together?
The Nets, well, here's you got the Nets #1. The Lakers projected is the second favorite. And
now, how great is that? It'll be stopped right there.
And
we don't even have a roster yet.
You got LeBron James.
We ain't got no roster.
LeBron. You got the real life space.
We don't even have a roster yet.
You got Anthony Davis. I mean, you got.
Hey, look. And we had Russ and Chris over for the party last night, man. For the cookout. They was over there for the cookout. Just letting y'all know. I showed Russ a lot of love early on in the show, if you remember.
Yeah.
You want Russ.
Hey, MB.
Like Russ now.
MB, who was 3, 4, and 5 on that list, MB?
You got Milwaukee as 4th. Hold on. Milwaukee is 3rd. Phoenix Suns is 4th. And that's it. They just do the top.
Okay. So Milwaukee's 3rd.
Coach, talk about Chris Paul right now. Do you see him? Obviously, he has a chance to break the bank again, especially there. Does he do it there? Should he do it there? Do they even have a chance, finishing 4th like that on that list? Do they have a chance to get right back?
That's interesting. I think what Chris will wind up doing is he'll wind up taking the most money from the team that has a chance to win it, though. Like, he's not going to take the most money from the, somebody that can Cleveland Cavs.
Right.
He's not going to do that. But if somebody was going to pay him more that had a chance to win it, then I think he would do that as opposed to just his heart staying in Phoenix. Now, I say that today, but I won't underestimate the impact that Monty Williams might have had on him that could keep him around. Monty was one of his first coaches, or might have been his first coach. And so I don't want to, that would be the only underlining factor to me that would, keep him, from getting a big bag and just going somewhere else to stay there.
But see,
isn't Phoenix the one that can pay him the big bag? Because he's got a player option for $44 million, right?
Yeah.
So if he opts out of that, isn't Phoenix the one that can sign him? Because I was reading somewhere he's got that NBA got that 38 rule. When you're 38 years old, it's like a cap or something like that. I was saying, so he could.
Oh no! So what that means, MB, he can't sign for more than like 4 years. I think it has to be a 3-year deal.
3-year deal, right?
Yeah, and he actually ushered that rule in. Now it's affecting him.
Right. So I think right now, isn't Phoenix is the one that can pay him the most money? If he opts out or no?
I'm not sure, and I probably should know this, but I'm not sure when you are.
You don't have the bird rule. Yeah.
Actually, you might be right. Yeah, Phoenix may be able to pay him the most money.
Yeah, I could be wrong.
I know. I think you're right. I think Phoenix can pay him the most.
But why would he? And I definitely agree with you saying. Obviously, just not just gonna go for the money because he still wants the championship, you know.
Right.
But why would he leave Phoenix? I would think if Phoenix pay him, you know what I'm saying. I think he would want that. They would want to run the team back, you know.
What if the Lakers pay him?
No.
Oh well, hey, you know what?
He'll be on a 2-year deal with us.
I'm glad you said something.
We'll give him more than one, but he getting 2-year max. He ain't going for that.
But they was talking about the banana boat reunion.
I hear all that. It sounds good, but it's ridiculous.
Carmelo Anthony.
We we love what Carmelo doing for the Portland Trail Blazers. We love it. We wish him all the best.
Y'all need shooters, man. Y'all need shooters around those guys.
Listen, I can tell we don't need.
I don't think
older.
I don't think it'll work in LA because Chris Paul needs the ball in his hands.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Then LeBron James is going to have the ball in his hands.
Listen, if LeBron trusts you, he'll let you have it. So look, we would let Chris have it. We just don't. We're not willing to kill our. You know, we don't care about money like that, but we ain't gonna spend it on him. Russ, we'll give him a 4-year deal easy, but we just gonna sign and trade Russ. We gonna give him Kuzma, and we gonna get rid of Tyler. What is it?
Taylor
Tucker. Yeah, Tucker. THT. We gonna get rid of THT. Kyle and you know Schroeder on the first thing smoking.
Yeah, I don't.
So who you want, K-Lou?
Russ.
You want Russ?
Listen,
I've
always been a Russ fan, and I can't understand why something we celebrate Oscar Robertson for, we call him selfish for doing it. I love selfish guys like him, so he need to come play for us.
Wow.
Well, I definitely don't think he's selfish. I don't feel that way at all.
But I don't know if that. I mean, obviously, anytime you get a talent like Russ, he's good. But I wouldn't. You need some shooters around those guys, man.
Look, man. Listen, we talk about shooters. You know what? As all of us have been coaches and players, and one thing we know for a fact that's gonna win you ball games is effort. And I still have yet to see somebody, even Pat Bev, come close to the effort that it seems like that guy gives on a nightly basis. I'm a fan.
He does that.
I'm sorry.
He plays hard. I agree.
You at the end of the game, you know it ain't because he ain't try. I bet that. I bet you ain't questioning, you know, what's his heart in it. You know, all that stuff you be looking at them boys like, man, for real, y'all, all this, and y'all do this to me. I guarantee you a coach never said that to Russell Westbrook. And we say that about NBA guys making his kind of money right now. We still saying that. Not to him.
Yeah.
Mike, they asked Mike who would he pay to see the greatest. He say him. Okay.
Pretty
Russ, come on, baby.
Yeah.
We'll call you the Banana Boat Crew.
Yeah, I love Russell, but I don't know if that's a good fit for the Lakers, baby.
Hey, man, he a good fit for anybody. Was he
a good fit in Houston?
Yeah, he was a good fit.
Why couldn't they win?
They didn't have enough.
He took Washington Wizards made the playoffs.
Who? Right. Right.
With Russ.
But they didn't have enough over there. It was just him and James, and they didn't really.
Well, who was his counterpart with the Wizards?
Bradley Beal. Hey, that's another one. We'll show him a lot of love. We'll show him love too. He come over there to LA, baby. Bradley, you want to come, baby? We the water.
Hey, why don't y'all just have an all-star team like an all-star game?
Orlando, I really don't know why Jenny won't go ahead and do that. I've been wanting that for years. Like, call it the Western All-Star Team.
Yeah. I'm trying to understand. When you have like a kid in the candy store, like you got a whole bunch. How y'all gonna make this happen? Y'all ain't got no a lot of assets, baby.
MB, you be worried about the wrong
thing. Now you don't want Dame Dollar no more. I thought you wanted Dame.
I love Dame too. Why? It's room for him too.
So you want so who would you want? You want Russell?
Then Orlando just called it, man. He say, why not just the All-Star team? You're not listening, MB. He just told you what it is. Go with it, man. Go with it. And y'all just continue to hate. That's not. Listen, one thing you ain't gonna call us is a loser out there, man. So we gonna do everything it takes to get a W. Everything. So if you notice, MB was hollering about free agents and all that, who's available. I said, what? Man, we don't look at that. What is you talking about? Like, who came to our team as a free agent? We take people. Orlando, everybody free to us. What are we doing?
Hey, would you take this hypothetically? Would you take John Morant?
Oh, that's tough. I love what he's becoming, because to me, he's a willing scorer too. I know you're gonna throw me under the bus with that too, but he's the same to me as Trey. Like, I think LeBron would let him go. I think LeBron would treat him like he did the young fella in Miami, but he's way more talented than him. When he got there, he was getting
Dwayne Wade?
No, he went to Kansas. The Kansas guard that was down there.
Oh, Mario Chalmers?
Chalmers, yeah.
Chalmers.
Oh,
remember he gave him grief?
Yeah.
But eventually let him run it. I'm saying I think he would Ja would gain his trust immediately, but there's no way Memphis is partnering with him.
Well, no. I just
okay.
That ain't happening.
Hey, it ain't us, it's them.
But when you made a statement, y'all don't worry about the free agency. Y'all just take people. So I just
Who do we get as a free agent? Coach, tell me.
You, Montrezl Harrell.
Yeah, okay. And how'd that work out for us?
hey, look, what about DeRozan?
We need you while you still hungry.
Hey, Luke.
Yes.
What about DeRozan? Would you take DeRozan? He's a free agent.
Hey, him and Pac Jam called me today, say him and his homeboy help me. The point guard out there in Toronto.
Lowry.
Yeah, him and Lowry begging us. They calling us right now.
So would you take that?
They calling us. We ain't even calling nobody, man. Everybody want to be out there, man. Y'all told me 2 years ago nobody want to play with LeBron. That's what all I heard. Who want to play with LeBron? LeBron. I think Pat Jam told me they was at the cookout too, man. I'm not sure what Kyle Lowry. No, Kyle from like Chicago, right? But DeRozan from
Philly.
DeRozan from LA.
DeRozan from right there.
From LA. Kyle's from Philly.
Yeah, but they want to be back together. Why not a reunion with us, baby? We'll take it.
Yeah,
Our bench gonna be beating people with them two on it. But Kyle still got money that folks will pay him. I don't see him coming. But DeRozan, I do see, like, that's an easy one, because I think, we'll give him enough where he just is happy about being home and know he can win. And him coming off the bench, oh man, or starting. But a guy like that, I would still let a KCP. Now I'm not a KCP fan, but I would let a KCP type still start and bring him off the bench and let him, hey, help, go. Get your 18. We don't shoot this thing in the second unit till he touch it.
He's another non-shooter though. He's a 15-foot, 18-foot, and
mid-range. Yeah. He's a mid-range.
So, Coach O, do you agree that the Lakers need shooters?
I would say that would definitely help them. Yes, to space the floor, they need guys that can make shots. No question.
Yeah.
Well, LeBron's a shooter and AD's a shooter. How about that?
The problem is they got AD who's going to be on the wing. He's not going in the paint. He's staying out there, so he's in the way of somebody.
Yeah.
Cole, we talked to him too. He said, we're going to go load management this year. It is what it is. Don't talk trash to me. It is what it is. We're going load management. And then when we get down the stretch in the play, the last 7-8 games of the season, he's playing strictly 5, and we're going to take that into the playoffs. I already had that conversation.
All right. Well, I'm glad you had that conversation.
So
hey, how do you guys feel about? And I know I'm just curious here. You got Booker, you got Middleton, and you got Holiday. Get ready, board a flight to Tokyo to play against France. Like, boy, isn't that physical?
They shouldn't do it.
Yes, I agree, man.
After the horrific season we just had, Coach, we just talking about, and he was hurt. Oh, he was hurt too. Like, that's been our conversation. Yeah. And then y'all about to go take it on the road and then turn right around, right, Coach, and be back in training camp.
I mean, be right back in training camp. And now I understand the guys and the honor it is to play, to represent your country. I understand that. But if I am ownership with those teams, boy, I'm like, God.
That's a hard pill to swallow, huh?
Yeah, I don't know if we need to do this, man.
Yeah.
Pill to swallow.
Right.
Especially with Booker, who's had to play. Well, all three of those guys, they played tough minutes.
Yeah.
Tough minutes, not just like fly-by-night minutes. Like, they having to earn it every possession.
And by the way, those dudes aren't going over to the Olympics to play the Larry Bird role, and I'm just going to lay on the side on my back.
Right.
Them dudes going to play.
Yeah, because they are.
Well, they gonna need Booker and Drew.
They only got like 8 players.
As trash as we is, we gonna need Drew for defense and Booker for his offense. and Chris to come in and not be a knockdown. Cause we super trash. So what's your prediction on that?
On what?
Gold, silver, bronze, or nothing?
You know, I read something the other day, and I don't even know. I'm going to screw this all up, but Popovich's record with the Olympic team is not very impressive.
It's not?
No, it's not very impressive at all. Hey, look that up, MB. I thought I read something to where I was shocked by it. But, man, it's just, you know, when we have LeBron and Kobe, I could say to you, them dudes can just do it. They'll just find a way to win the gold. I can't say that about this.
Okay, tell us why, though.
Why what?
Because it's not talent. We know that. So why? Because I said the same thing, Coach.
Let me give you the cheat answer what he's looking for. No alpha dog. That's what he's looking for. He wants you to say that about KD, that he's not an alpha dog. Go ahead.
You know, I mean, I don't know if to say that. I just know LeBron and Kobe had that leadership, that killer mentality, that it was just. I tell you what, I'm gonna give you an Olympic story. Told me they were going to play a big game for seeding, and they had practice, and Kobe was in the gym with Wojo like 2 hours before practice. And when they walked in for practice, he's drenched. Like it was a serious workout. And Coach K went to him and was upset. Like, hey, we got this big game in the morning against, I can't remember who it was. And we're trying to, this is important for us to win. And Kobe said to him, hey, man, I'm all about winning the NBA championship. We're going to win the gold. Don't you worry about that. We don't have a guy on the team like that. we don't have that.
Thank you, Coach.
You know, yeah, he was. I heard a few of these stories. I'm not gonna call out any names here, but from some former coaches on the Olympic groups, and just how those guys were. Like how those guys would go to practice and then say, you know, we're going to lift at this time. And there was no question the whole team was going to lift.
Right.
You know, I got another good one for you. So LeBron, Kobe was on his own. He just did everything on his own. Kobe even complained about the guys kissing up to LeBron and saying he just buttering them dudes up right now and gonna kick their butts during the season. Right. Like he's just buttering those dudes up. I ain't getting close to him like that. I ain't doing that, you know. So he wasn't hanging out with the team. Well, they had a team meeting and Bron said, you know, hey, listen, man, we all got to be together. We got to be a team. We got to everybody having meals together. And he's looking at Kobe. Everybody's eating together every meal. Everybody's going out together. Everybody's going to other games together. But, you know, some people ain't doing it. We got to do it together. So they said the next morning, Kobe went to breakfast with the team. I want to say he ate lunch with the team. Might have ate dinner with the team. They won the next game. And then he said, all right, I did my job now. And I moved on. Like, that's enough, you know. But we don't have guys like that. We don't have that type of mentality on this group. So I can't. I don't.
What do you call that, LB? Like, is he not describing exactly what I said in simple terms?
So
that's called the alpha.
That's just stories I've been told.
And what I said to MB is, unless Jason Tatum grow up into an alpha overnight, we in trouble. There it is. That's the only one I got in it. MB going with Draymond. Draymond gonna get it.
K-Lou be hating on Draymond.
You said that.
What?
You did say that. You said Draymond can't get them together. You did say that.
Oh, man, you know I'm messing with you, man. Draymond, I told you, I don't think Draymond passed his prime, man.
Triple single, baby. I don't think that's going to get it done.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, hey, man, we appreciate you, Orlando. We enjoyed you, man. Thanks for those stories. They were awesome.
No problem, fellas. Y'all take care.
All right.
Hey, you got the draft coming up next week too, right?
Yes, the draft the 29th.
Yeah. All right, yeah, we got to get you back on and talk about that, man.
You know what? Okay, let's talk about it.
I know you're doing some work with that, aren't you?
Yeah. But I may not be around Friday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Do your thing, baby.
Okay, man. I'll talk to you guys.
Bring us the juicy news whenever you can.
Okay. Later.
Right. Appreciate you. Oh, thanks, man.
Man, so MB, that was awesome. He was good. He was real good. Those stories were outstanding.
Yeah,
but it did come down to what I told you. He verbalized very eloquently what I just went from the hood from. We ain't got no alpha. Dog.
Hey, man. Hey, when you talk about Kobe and setting the standard like that, yeah, ain't nobody. I mean, it's like we call this the Ice-T scale. You ever heard of Ice-T scale, the rapper? You ever heard of his
Ice-T?
Yeah, the Ice-T scale.
Yeah. Oh, well, not Ice-T scale, but of course I heard of Ice-T.
So this is my BC days before Christ, right? So this is when he brings up Kobe, it's just a different scale. This what I mean. You have a dude try to set you up with a girl, man. What, man, I got this girl I need you to meet, right? And you're like, man, what is she? 1 to 10. Man, she's an 8. And And you like 8, huh? So you like, man, what about the iced tea scale? What is she on the iced tea scale? That because and she like, man, she's a 5 on the iced tea scale. You know? And so what it was, Ice-T had this album where on the front of it they had guns, right?
Right, I remember the album cover.
Yeah, he had this girl holding, and then on behind they showed a back shot, and they show, you know, you see her from the complete picture.
She on Corey Holcomb's show, 5150.
She's on what now?
That's his ex. She on Corey Holcomb.
Okay.
So yeah.
She became the standard to
right.
If you talking about, okay, man, what on the Ice-T scale? How did she compare to him? You know, or how does a girl compare to her? She set the standard. So when you talk about Kobe, man, that's
MB,
it's a whole different level. Hey,
but I don't think, but I'm not even looking at it that way, because LeBron's not Kobe, but he's an alpha. Magic wasn't like Kobe; he was more like LeBron. You know what? That togetherness team. Larry wasn't like Kobe. You see what I'm saying? Like
but they all like alphas though. Like
that's what I'm saying. But they did it in different ways.
No
so,
but they
alphas, so I don't look at it like a Kobe or a Mike standard. I'm looking at it like, is there an alpha on the roster? No. Like that's how simple it is.
No, but I'm saying I understand what you're saying. But when you bring in Kobe, man, it's a totally different.
Okay,
it's
I
like
get that.
A totally different standard.
I get that.
It's like the standard of all standards, you know?
Right.
So it's just like it's very few people that can compare to that standard, you know? It just makes it clear, like, nah, ain't nobody nah.
Right.
That's the ice. That's why I say to me, that's the Ice-T scale. It's a whole different level.
Right. Know? Well, I get that. I just don't think Coach or I are speaking to Kobe. You know what I'm saying? We're not. I think he used those examples, but he's not saying we need one of those. We need somebody, anybody, everybody. Scream! Ah!
Hey, but when Coach started talking about Kobe and his mindset, I was like, yeah, you know, it just made it clear, like you just can't throw that term out too loose. So it just woke me up, you know. But I understand what you're saying.
Well, we appreciate y'all, man. Stop pulling up, stopping through, hollering at us. Because you know us from sideline to baseline with MB and K. Lou. We are gone.